Oh my God, we are back! I was just trying to get ready this beautiful book from Susie, and so this book is, I think, yes, you have to see us on Facebook, Mindful Life. Go to the U and go to our Facebook there, and you can see us what we do here behind camera. And I'm just holding a book, her book, and it's all about her journey through since she was 14 years old.
Yes.
And so if you wanted to read this book, I'm sure it's going to be beneficial for you, because you can go behind the problem. You can see how many people like Susie, who has been suffering from some mental health issue, depression and eating disorders, really it is the way that we can see them, what they thinking at the time, why do they do the things they were doing. So it is quite interesting, because then you start learning about how the minds work, really. What is the next step for us to get out when we have a problem. Positive thinking, positive action, and all of that. So tell us a little bit more about your book then. How do you got inspired about writing this book?
Well, I've always loved writing.
Yes.
I was always writing. I actually published a newspaper that everybody in my family had to buy. They couldn't borrow it. They had to buy a copy. No, I never kept a diary, funnily enough, but I always expressed myself with writing, and I found that writing often gave me closure. So whether it was poetry, whether it was short stories, or whether it was just jotting down what happened, it was something you put it down on paper, and then you can kind of not forget about it, but it's dealt with.
Yeah.
And so I decided when I was about 18 to write a book about it, because I thought, once I write it down, then I can kind of forget about its experience. I mean, it will be part of my life, but it won't be so prominent, and it will give me closure. And I thought about how to best describe this journey, and obviously you don't write for yourself only, although sometimes you can, but it helps you, but you want to help others. And I thought, what would be the best way to actually show people what happens and how, to get them inside the mind of a person. So I chose the form of a diary.
Mm-hmm.
And because a lot of the times that is the danger of any of these mental illnesses, anorexia and bulimia and all these things. When you're starting, you're not aware of it. So the problem becomes, you're not aware of the things you're doing until it's too late. And that's when you kind of start thinking, this is not right, this is not me. But it's kind of too late, because that other person, as I mentioned before, the other voice, the anorexic voice in your head is already there, is well established and in control.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show how it kind of happens, and how, by other people's sort of sometimes jokes even, the little things people say absent-mindedly can actually affect, and they create this effect of, like pushing you towards something you don't want to be.
That's right.
So little comments that my brother made, or my father, or the kids at school, sort of pushed me towards, because I don't blame them, but I was vulnerable at this time.
Yeah.
So if somebody said something else, could have been something else. Could
No,
have been a drinking issue, could have been overeating, it could have been, so I went down that path. So I wrote this book.
How long did it take you to write this book?
It's funny, because I wrote it, and then I put it away.
Right.
And then I had a look at it, and I did editing on it, and I put it away. Then a friend of mine looked at it, and she edited it, and I didn't actually like it, because she was a historian, so she made it all grammatically correct. But she took away my voice.
Yeah,
because a lot of the times, and that's how I thought, a lot of the times it's just random words in your head,
Yeah.
And so I finally did it when I was actually pregnant with my first child, my first one. And then I actually self-published when my older one was about 4 or 5. So it was a long process, about 10 years.
Yeah, so if people wanted to buy your book or purchase your book, where can they go
You
now?
can find it on Amazon.com.
Yeah. And what's it called?
It's called Wicked, Welcome to My Private Little Hell.
It's not that scary, guys.
It's not that scary. It's positive. It's actually positive. And one thing, if we do have time to mention, I sort of want children, no, not children, but young adults to read this book, obviously. and also possibly parents and anybody, because I think it would help everyone. But what I've done is I believe in role play, and I strongly believe in the sort of healing properties of drama.
Yeah.
So there is a short play actually at the end.
Okay.
So I've actually intended to take it to schools, and the schools can put it on or study it.
Yeah.
Study it. So if anybody buys it, then they can suggest it at school, that they just read it, and it allows them to experience what it's like for the parent,
Yeah.
or for the psychiatrist, or for the brother, because I was not. I remember saying, I hate hating those I love, because I hated the whole world when I was anorexic. I hated my mom. I hated her for loving me.
Yeah, so we have to be careful also, because you start when you say hating and all of that when you were young, obviously when you were having this issue. Then I know kids or young kids, they say those sort of things because it's a word.
I hate
But
chicken.
and then as a parent, we need to be aware and say, hey, no, don't use the word, use love, or just use I don't like the food or something like that, because that can be a dangerous.
And
you can hate everything.
in my language too, in Czech, hate is particularly strong. Like, we don't just say I hate chicken. So when I used that word, it was that particular powerful, very strong word.
Yeah.
Because at that time, I'd be talking in Czech to my mom.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact I really didn't want to hate anymore.
No, that's great that you have a turnaround this through your own passion and love and giving to the community.
I had my mama's support,
Yeah,
but obviously the
support.
family needs to help and be on board.
That's correct. So family needs to be aware of where your child is, and you need, as a parent, you need to learn how you are developing as well, your personal self-development, because as
And
a
role
parent,
models.
and role models, because as a parent, you're going to be able to coach your own children, and this is something that people need to be aware. I am aware that we need to coach ourselves so we can coach other people.
Because, if I may mention, my mom was a big star back in the Czech Republic, and I remember one thing about her, and then she was always very self-conscious and always on a diet. So she doesn't like me saying that because she feels that now she's responsible, but I remember my mom always worried about how she looked, about her diet, and of course telling me that we're under a microscope because everybody knew us, everybody looked at us. So it's the wrong thing to say. Kids should not have to worry about, how they look. They should be more concerned about how they feel. Are they happy? Are they content? Do they have a purpose? Do they have something? And parents need to be there to support them. And
That's right.
that's what I meant when my mom supported me, because I had this dream.
Yeah.
And I was 16, still anorexic, but getting out of it, and I wanted to go and study drama. So she went and found me a drama school.
Yeah.
She went and took me there. She paid for it, obviously, because it's not cheap.
Yeah.
But that's the support.
Yeah.
You need
So
to
your
support-
mother also, she has her own dreams as well. So she was like a role model because she's kind of like encouraged you to have a dream for yourself
Yes.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you as a parent, do you have a dream? Do you have a purpose of life? Did you know that? If you don't know, well, you need to take action. You need to really feel motivated to go and find your purpose of life, because that will give you the right role example, or you can become the role model of your own kids and for our community. So if you do that, God bless you, and continue doing that. If you haven't, please take action today.
Don't get stuck in a job you hate.
Yes, that's correct, and don't complain. If you do that, take action to get out of there. So we're gonna go for the next break, which is our next song.
No,
and
it's actually going to be a community announcement.
and then we have a song.
The song La Douche, Be My Lover.
My
Sounds
Lover,
like one.
yes.
Oh, Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day coming up.
We're gonna be back, so thank you. So now we're gonna be talking about